Good morning. This is my official first shopcast, and my name is Diana Christie. I am the owner of Little House of Yarn in Princeton, Indiana. And if you would like to like and follow me and share with your friends, I sure would appreciate it. This is just another way for me to reach out to those either locally or globally to know that I'm here. So if you live far away and you're in town in the area, you can come by and see me. Or if you live locally and didn't know I existed, I'm here. So I'm a local yarn shop, and I started doing this shop 5 years ago. Something I dreamed about doing for several years. Made plans, retired from my full-time job and opened this shop, and I have learned so much being open about fibers and patterns, and I learned how to make socks and just all kinds of things. So if this is what you would like to see, just grab you a drink and let's hang out. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a work in progress I have, and I've had this on my needles since February, and it's called the Traveler Shell by Andrea Mowry, and I am using a hand dyed that we had from a yarn crawl last year, and as you can see, I am working on the front ribbing. I still have to do my sleeves, and this pattern does come with pockets, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do pockets. A customer of mine suggested, well, you could always do pockets or not do pockets and then see how you feel. And then I could always put them on later, which is true. Now, this is kind of going to be bunched up because I've got my needles, and I know some of you are probably like, why aren't you using those cords? But this is what it kind of looks like on me. I still got to put the ribbing on the sleeves, and of course this is bunched up. I'm hoping that once it's blocked, I know once it's blocked it's going to be a little longer, because that's the nature of the stitch. But I'm looking forward to wearing this because I will definitely wear it around the shop. It's an all year, I feel like it's an all year season. It is made out of fingering weight. This is made out of fingering weight. And like I said, this was a hand dyed that we had, excuse me, from the yarn crawl a couple of years ago. Our local yarn crawl. It's called Purl Indiana Yarn Crawl, by the way. You can find it on Instagram and Facebook. Every year we try to have a local dyer dye a yarn color, and that was last year's. Her name is Lindsey, and she owns a fiber truck, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I'll put it in the comments below. I'm so sorry, Lindsey. And then Red Hill Fiber spun up the fiber, and then Lindsey dyed it, and I may remember her name before the cast is over. So that is my work in progress. Being a shop owner, single shop owner, I have nobody else here at the shop but myself. So the time to do projects is just a little area in the afternoons that I get a couple of hours, because most of the time in the mornings I'm planning and working on the website and just doing all that administrative stuff. So the second whip I wanted to show is the another local dyer, a local dyer that I carry in the shop exclusively, and this is the Hermione Everyday Sock Pattern. I don't know if you can see the texture of the pattern, but there's the texture. So I like this because it's not, you know, you've got this multicolored sock, but it's not a boring stockinette. So, and I made these cute little football markers. I still have a few left. If you're in the area and you like football, because football season has started, especially here. So this yarn is from my local dyer, Needlefingers, and this is called I've Been Everywhere Man yarn color. Sorry, yarn color. She matched a bag that I had made for one of the yarn crawls, and she pulled a lot of the colors out of that bag. It was a bag with several license plates from every state. Let me grab her yarn real quick. I should have been a little more prepared, sorry. But this is the original colorway. This is called I've Been Everywhere Man, and it's got the blues and some reds. These were all the colors in the license plates. So these nearly sold out. There's reds. These nearly sold out, so she made some more. And you know, being a dyer, their colors are never the same. So she came up with two different colorways using the same colors. This is called I've Been Everywhere Man, the remix, side B. Those of us in the 70s know what that means. But you can see all the colors. And then this is I've Been Everywhere Man, the remix, side A. So you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference? Well, this one's got a little bit more bolder colors to it than this one here. This one's got, I don't know if you can see more of the blues, or this one, the blues are a little more deeper. And this is actually, the one I'm using is the remix side B. If you're interested in any of those, just reach out to me. I can ship them to you. Because not only will you be supporting my local business, but you'll be supporting her as well. Then she has a self-striping in the I've Been Everywhere Man. And I don't know if you can see, but this is what it looks like worked up. This is the yarn. So it's the same concept, colors that she pulled from the license plate bag that I had. And so there's some of those left. Like I said, if you're interested, you can reach out to me. I don't have any finished objects to show you. I didn't bring them with me. They were more summer related, but I could still show them. Maybe the next time I will, because I've been making the Tulsa tea, and I've made it twice now, and I really like that pattern. It just complements my body shape so well. I think it can complement anybody's. She's even got the option for darts, if you like your darts. Some of the newer yarns I got in, I haven't had a chance to use it, but this is Madrona from Haiku, and this is a sock yarn. It has alpaca, wool, and viscose. I don't have that on the website yet, but this is something that you can get in the shop, and their colors are based off of nature, so there's some lovely nature colors. It's a really soft yarn. Merino wool is soft, but this has alpaca, a touch of alpaca, so it's even softer. This would be great for shawls if you don't like wool up against your face, 100% wool. So this is a blend, and it's got alpaca, so it's a little softer to the skin. I have several colors of these. If you're doing that Stephen West knit along, I can't remember the name of it, it's his latest shawl, you could definitely pick some colors out of what's available. Another new yarn that I recently got in, which I was excited about it. I wanted to bring it in last year, but I wasn't able to, is their vintage, Barocco vintage hand paint. And as you can see, there's a tonal value to these yarns. And I have 4 colors available. These I need to put on the website yet. And I'm thinking I'm gonna make another toasted tea, and I'm trying to decide which color to use. This is the gray, and I want to show you what it looks like. You can kind of see the tonal bits going on. And I thought about gray because gray goes with everything. But then there's this nice bluish green. It looks good on me. The fuchsia always looks good on. This is not fuchsia. It's actually raspberry. This is not a color I can wear. I am a cool winter. If you've never been evaluated, this is I'm a cool winter, so you can see these colors complement me, and this one does not. You see how I look a little washed out with it? If you have never done a color analysis on yourself, I really highly recommend it. I have tops in this color, and I do look washed out in them, so I need to get rid of them. Get them out of my wardrobe. Now that I know, is I'm a cool winter. I went on Pinterest, found some boards that had some easy explanations. I follow some people on Instagram, and I was able to narrow down my color palette. So, because there's winter, cool winter, bright winter, and winters can easily fit into the summer palette, so you have to be careful though. So bright, vibrant colors look really good on me, and I can use some pastels as long as they're clear. They call it a clear, I think it's called a clear chroma, I don't know. I did want to show you some kits, a kit that I have available, and I've sold several of these. So this is the Shift by Andrea Mowry. This is actually my Shift cowl. I made this last year, and I do have kits available. If you reach out to me, I can put one together for you. This is my second cowl that I've made. I don't know if you can see what it looks like on me. I did go up a needle size with this one, just because I felt the other one was a little, I don't know, too small, and it has to do with my knitting. So I decided to go up a needle size, and I'm happy with the size on this. So I used some Queensland Rainbow Beach. I used Sydney Harbor, Wineglass Bay, and then a solid navy. These are the three colors I used to achieve this look. So if this is something you would like to see kitted up and sent to you, or you can come in and I can kit one up for you. I think I have one navy left, but you could easily use like a hunter green, or probably a teal with this, until I get more navy in. Some other color options I have suggested is the green, the purple, and then the Wineglass Bay as well. I think these three would work good together. I don't know how well you can see them. That would make a good one. And I almost did purple, but I decided not to, because purple kind of is my favorite color. Another kit option I have is a little more on the bright side. So you can see there's some brights. So if you're a person who likes your brights, these three would work very well together as well. If you want to be really dramatic, you could even just do two of these and then do a solid black. That would be very dramatic. So I do have kit ideas if that's something you want to do. I think that's all I have as far as yarns, and what's some whips that I had made, like this is a finished object from last year that I really like. I've got it on display. I'm gonna have to take it off display before long. because I'm going to start wearing it. It's almost fall. Yay! But who's ready for fall? Me. I know you summer people are probably not ready for fall, but I am. Yes, yes. If you live locally, next Saturday, which is I can't remember the date. I'll put it in the comments below. We are having a downtown stroll, so several of the local businesses will be open from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So this is your opportunity to shop local. And if you've not been able to make it to my store because of your hours, my hours, or just your hours in general, this is a good opportunity for you to come and shop with me, just to see what I have. I've been told by several people that come in here that I have a good selection. I do have an easy care side of the shop, and then I have the hand wash side of the shop, which is more wool, natural fibers. So my cottons, of course, cottons are washable, but so more of the natural fibers are on one side of the shop, and then the blends are on the other side of the shop, and the washables. I kind of like that setup. It took me 5 years to figure out how to do this for everybody, and I know pretty well, if you crochet or knit, which side you're going to shop on. So it's kind of how I like to read you guys when you come in. Sometimes I can't read you though when you come in, which is okay. I know my regulars, I know what they like. So I try to keep that in mind. Probably the hardest part of running a shop is just seeing a yarn and saying, is that something my general crowd is going to purchase? And then I stop and think, I know what they normally make. And if they're going to make a garment, how much is this garment going to cost? Because I know their price points. I pretty well know everybody's price points. So, we've got these lovely hand dyed. So if you've never tried wool, superwash wool, or a hand dyed, there's one skeins you can try. And this is how I got the idea to open a shop. It's like 10 years ago, I went to a farmer's market, and a local lady, had dyed some wool. And every year when I was going back, or every time I saw her in an event, I would buy a skein of her wool, and then I ended up making a shawl out of it. Well, I told my husband, I said, I love this. I love wool. I love it. And not all wools are the same. Depends on the region, the type of sheep. They're not all scratchy. So, there seems to be a stigma out there to where they're all scratchy, but they're not. It just depends. I do have literature at the shop laying around on one of the tables on why wool is good for you. So you could pick these up when you come into the shop as well. There's some nice information. I also put on there how to take care of wool if you've never dived into it. A lot of people think, ooh, hand wash, Well, here's the thing. I hand wash it maybe once a year. But throughout the season, if it gets smelly, I just stick it outside and let it air dry. If it's good snow, you can roll it around in the snow and then let it air dry. And wool, there's just so many benefits to wool. You just really need to do your research. There's all different kinds of wool as well. Speaking of wool, I wanted to touch on the tariffs just a little bit. I don't want to get too hot and heavy. The tariffs are affecting the yarn industry right now because a lot of yarns do come from overseas. So we're talking Europe, we're talking South America, we're talking Canada, because every sheep in every region has different wool, even though it's the same fiber. But it's just like I had some Italian wool that doesn't behave the same as the South American wool. I know that sounds a little nuts if you're not used to wool, but that's just how it is. So the tariffs is kind of keep us from experiencing the wools and the different fibers from around the world a little differently. You know, I like to bring wools from different areas. I can look into bringing in an American-made wool. I can tell you that the American-made wool is a little more expensive than what I can get overseas and from these other companies, and I have no problem with supporting a wool company. But are you going to support an American-made wool? So I guess that's more the question. If I bring it in, is it something you're going to use? I'm not a real woolly wool store, so at this point, I probably won't go that route. I have my customers that like their wool, but the wool blends seem to be doing very well right now, more so because as a knitter and crocheter, I think we acclimate. You know, we start out with acrylics. I think we all start out with acrylics. We probably go to cottons. And then somewhere in there, you may transition into other fibers. So then you try a wool blend. You say, hey, it's not so bad. And then eventually you get into the wools and the alpacas and the mohairs. Because there's all kinds of fibers out there to try. And you may be allergic to some of them. You're not going to know until you try them. So prices on some items in the shop will be going up eventually. I think some of the warehouses, when they run out of their stockpile that they have right now, then prices will probably continue to go up. So I think just being a smart shopper, if you're going to make a garment, I've made garments out of the cheaper yarns and they did not hold up as long, excuse me, as the garments that I've used natural fibers with, or a natural fiber blend, so like a wool blend. So that's up to you and your preference. I don't want to be an acrylic basher, but acrylics are made out of petroleum, not as biodegradable as natural fibers. So if you care about the environment, there's another reason maybe you want to try. Like I said, I don't acrylic bash. My favorite blend in this building is the vintage line because it is acrylic, wool, and nylon. If you haven't tried it, it's machine washable. It's good for all kinds of stuff. And it is just a premium yarn at a good, really good price point, I feel. So, I don't think I have anything else. I hope that we transition into fall easily. I know we're going to have a heat wave again, I think next week, and then it's going to get cool again. So we're just kind of bouncing back and forth. If you live in the area and you want to learn how to knit or crochet, I developed a crash course class. So it's a 2-hour class. You can try it, see if you like it. If you like it, we will expand on it more and move on to another project. So I'm going to try that this time around because I feel like in one class, most of you know whether you're going to like it or not. And I just hate for you to spend the money for a 3-part class and then not show up. So it's a 1-part, 2-hour crash course. That way you can figure out if you like it or not. I'm hoping that the next shopcast, I've been working on the Barocco blanket, year-long blanket knitting, and I'm excited. It's almost done, and I think next month is our last square, and then we're going to assemble it. So next shopcast, I hope to show you all the squares, pre-assembling, I hope. It's just been a journey. I've just learned so many skills. You know, when you think you know all the skills, I know I don't know all the skills, but I learned so many skills. One of them was chart reading. I was not good at chart reading. and I am pretty proficient at it right now, so I'm pretty excited about that. So when I get a pattern with a chart, I'm not going to be so intimidated by it. So that's exciting to me because, you know, there's so many designers out there and they all do it different. And that's just one more aspect that I can expand on my skills as well. Well, that's all I have for this week. I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any ideas of what kind of content you would like me to talk about sometime, like if there's some tips or tricks, I hope to have some guests here occasionally. I'm not for sure if I can talk some of my locals into doing a little shopcast with me, but we'll see, because they do a lot of projects that I feel they could share information with you. So I'll see if I can bring a guest on next time. What do you think? So anyway, you have a great rest of your weekend. And like I said, I will put some information below on some of the events coming up at the shop and the dates. And you have a great weekend.